Here now, Joe Concha, the Hill columnist. He's also a Fox contributor, and Carrie Lukas, Independent Women's Forum president. Carrie, I want to go ahead and start with you because the soundbite was very compelling there. Not only are the kids being held hostage at home, but the moms are being held hostage at home. And that's one of the big problems that we have, is getting women back into the labor force. And so you talk about these astronomical amounts of money that have been granted to the schools, $1.8 billion in Chicago. And you say, why can't you get your act together to make the environment safe? The president, the health department, nobody is saying that schools are unsafe here except for you.
Absolutely. This is deja vu for a lot of parents who spent years wondering if they were going to be able to show up at work and how they were going to be able to teach their kids. What parents are realizing right now is they need leverage and they don't have it. Chicago Public Schools spend $15,000 per pupil. Parents are going to be saying, I want that money. I want to be able to decide where my kids go to school so I can take that money and find somebody who wants to teach my kids and is going to show up in person.
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. Joe, I want to go to you because you and I both know that we could eternally live in a bubble if we want to try to protect ourselves. We could get hit by a bus just trying to cross the street. And actually, if you stay at home, you're not really safe either. You could slip and fall in the bathtub and die, too. I mean, where does this end?
I slipped and fell in my shower, I swear to you, 10 days ago. And it is painful, believe me.
I'm sorry to laugh.
So it's funny you use that analogy. Look, in this case, we need to look at the data and the precedent when it comes to schools and transmission, right? So I went back and looked. The New York Times, March of 2021. This is after New York City schools reopened school for the first time since the pandemic began. And they did a massive study. And this is what they concluded, quote, New York City's public school systems have seen remarkably low virus transmission. They go on to say that in city school buildings, quote, only 0.4%, think of that number, 0.4% of tests came back positive for the coronavirus. That was during a period, by the way, when virus cases were spiking in the community. In Chicago public schools, they came to the same conclusion. There's no significant transmission. So that's the science, and therefore that should be the end of the argument. But I read also in the New York Times, an op-ed by David Leonhardt, and it argued earlier this week that for the past 2 years, we're accepting more damage to children in exchange for less harm to adults. And the thing is, there really isn't any harm here anyway when you consider that 90% of Chicago teachers are vaccinated. So study after study shows, Jackie, virtual learning has horrific effects on a child's mental and emotional health. I have a 6- and 8-year-old. Trust me, I'm not saying that they're that far gone, but it certainly has had an impact on them. You see it. And for teachers in places like Chicago and New York and elsewhere to deny this data means they're either uninformed or they're motivated by other factors.
Well, maybe they are motivated by other factors. Carrie, I want to go back to you because part of the problem here isn't necessarily the safety of the schools. And also, as Joe points out, a lot of the adults are vaccinated. And we know that while the children might transmit the virus, they're not getting severely ill from it. So you have to say to yourself, what is motivating the teachers' unions? Because there have been these clips surfacing of teachers, basically slacking off during remote learning during the workday. And I'm not saying that that is all teachers, but there certainly seem to be some who are milking the system. Let's just say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a parent of 5 public school kids here in Virginia, and there certainly was a feeling last year and during COVID that teachers a lot of them just weren't putting kids' interests first. They were slow walking going back to COVID and resuming in-person learning. The thing that was so interesting is there was such a contrast with private schools that resumed in-person learning as soon as they could. And you did have this feeling that it was because for private schools, parents mattered. They wanted them to be satisfied. They wanted to keep that business. Public schools simply don't have much of a reason to care about parents.
That's a great point. It's results oriented, right? Because you're paying so much for that education. The parents are going to be up in arms. Joe, in the last moments that we have, to you, this is a broader problem, right? That doesn't necessarily just have to do with schools. I think they're a good example. They're sort of a microcosm of what's happening. But getting people back to work in general, even here in New York City, has been difficult because so many people have enjoyed the freedom that they've had the last 2 years. Many people are getting checks in the bank still from the government as a result of it, and nobody wants to go back. This is the culture that we have fueled here.
That's true. And in some cases, it may not necessarily be a bad thing, because at least when you work from home, it takes away the commute. And you know, Jackie, for being a Jersey girl, me being a Jersey guy, and commuting into the city, it could be sometimes a 2-hour ordeal. And suddenly, before you know it, you've lost 15, 20 hours out of your week. So you start your day earlier when you work from home. You could work later. There is no going out to lunch with other people or really socializing with other people. Then again, there is obviously the other side of that, which says that you do need to have in-person communication for meetings and camaraderie and so on. So it goes both ways. But as you said, once you get used to working in your pajamas, and right now I'm wearing, sweatpants, I have to admit that, you can get kind of used to it after a while. But I think ultimately we do have to get people back into work, because the businesses also around, say in New York, for example, all those restaurants and all those places that depend on people walking by, they ain't walking by right now.
Right. Cities are not going to function if you've got a ghost town, essentially. It's just not going to work. And this economic revival here in New York City is not going to happen unless people start to come in. Joe, great to see you as always. The discussion really helpful. Carrie, great to see you too.